My name is Jessica Berry. I am the president and owner of the Modern College of Design. We have one campus in Dayton, Ohio, and we serve about 200 students per year.
Hi, I'm Samira Zacharias. I'm the director of admissions here for the Modern College. I've been in higher education since 2009. I've been serving as director of admissions here for the Modern since 2020. We vetted Salesforce. I had experience with Salesforce previously, very compatible to LeadSquared. So it was mostly the size of our school. I think we were doing just fine with LeadSquared, even more than what we needed. That's why we decided. We vetted, I think, a couple other ones, very small ones. Not very high education focus. So that's why I think we were, a lot of the times in between Salesforce and LeadSquared. And also what I think led me a lot on making the decision was, one thing that was very impressed about it was LeadSquared customer service. I was very impressed for the how fast you guys were prompt to answer any questions, get on the calls with me, demo one more time, answer one last question that popped. Is that possible for me to do it in the system? So I think you guys, customer service and how fast you get back and how efficient it was, I think that weighed heavily on our final decision too.
Yeah, I would say from my perspective too, it was more affordable for a school of our size. You had better options for schools of our size financially. And that was a big part of the decision as well when we compared. And I know we did, it's funny, I can't even remember the names of the smaller systems that we reviewed. But yeah, I would say in the end, it came down to LeadSquared and Salesforce. And for the reasons that both of us stated, that's why we went with LeadSquared.
The onboarding process was fairly fast, very customizable. So we met with one of with Sai, through the entire process. He asked what I wanted the program to look like, what I wanted, what was important to me to have, to track reports and calls and so on. And he actually customized according to what we actually needed for the school. I create several reports because I like to see the numbers. I like to see how my team is performing. We use landing pages for sure, several landing pages, especially for the high school recruiters. So we know which landing page they are receiving, what leads are coming from what source. So that is very helpful. I use my dashboard several times a day to be able to see the stages that the leads are and how we can contact them faster. Emails, definitely it was a plus for us to be able to send and create emails and have templates available, automation available. Everything was very manual before. And now, after we implemented LeadSquared was a lot better. The reps were very ecstatic to be able to use the text messages. So all of those features are very good for admissions.
From an owner's perspective, I'm meeting with Samira on a weekly basis and we're reviewing those reports. So we have much more data than we had before with our old system. And the other thing that I really like, I sign off on the enrollment agreements, and to ensure that we're compliant, we make sure that we have obviously all of the required data that we need to make that decision and finalize their enrollment. And now we can do that digitally. So Samira just slacks me and says, hey, these students are ready. I can, within probably 2 or 3 minutes, go through, make sure all of the data is there, all the reports are there that we need. I can sign off on the enrollment and be done. So that has been a huge improvement. We're signing off on enrollment agreements and ensuring we have that data much sooner.
We definitely went paperless with a few months ago. because of LeadSquared. So we can upload all the documents in there. And I work remotely a lot of the time. So that helps me a lot on keeping the files together. So I can audit the files, make sure that all the documentation is there. And as Jessica mentioned, I can just send her a message and say, hey, all the students' files are ready. She can just go into to the enrollment agreement and sign off on them, and the file is audited. And we don't have a lot of paper tracking, so we don't miss a lot of paperwork or anything. So it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier for us that way.
Yeah, it makes me more confident because we'll be going through our renewal process for our accreditation over the next year and a half. It just makes me feel so much more confident for that visit, that when they come in, I know that all of that information is in the system.
I think the main thing was manually entering the leads in the system. In the previous FileMaker we had, I think that was the biggest work that we were doing, entering every single lead in the system manually. Now all the leads are automatic going in the system. So it goes to our call center within seconds. The representative get an email. We can automate an email to the student or automate a text message and so on. So I think it's what we felt the most to be very helpful was the automation and the leads going in the system automatically and immediately. So the urgency for us to call, for us to work that lead, the speed to lead, is what we're looking for now.
Yeah, before Samira started and we had LeadSquared, our high school recruiters every day would spend at least an hour at the end of the day entering their junior and senior leads. Then they would mail their leads for freshmen and sophomores to the college, and then someone on staff on campus would enter those leads. And there were so many times when leads didn't get entered correctly, when an invitation to an open house would go out, and then I would find out there were 3 days of leads that weren't entered. So just over the years, our staff is great, but human error happens. And a lot of times that was affecting our processes. So this has eliminated that. We've been able to eliminate an entire position on campus. We used to have an assistant that did a lot of the record keeping. And so that has saved us quite a bit of our budget by being able to do that. So the biggest improvement that I see, Samira's smiling because I talk about it all the time, last year we enrolled more students in that calendar year than we have in any year in our 38-year history. Wow. So previously, 2017 was our biggest enrollment year for new students. And last year we were up 9% over that year. Which is absolutely incredible. And obviously Samira's team has worked countless hours to make that happen. But LeadSquared was the software behind that supported them through that and gave them the tools to be able to work quickly. Because we all know in admissions, it's about getting to the student as quickly as possible while they still remember the impression that led them to inquire about the school. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of the team and proud of the effort that went into that, and thankful that LeadSquared was implemented when it was to help us achieve those goals. I absolutely think that LeadSquared will grow with our school. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. We plan to offer new programs, both to high school age students and also training programs to corporations. And so I think we'll be using it in different ways over the next few years, but I'm completely confident that it will grow with us and be the tool that we need.